Distinguished guests, good evening and welcome to Ottawa City Hall. Mesdames, Messieurs, chers invités de marque, bonsoir et bienvenue à l'Hôtel de Ville d'Ottawa. My name is Hugues Baudouin-Dumouchel and I will be your Master of Ceremony for tonight's Key to the City Award presentation, the city's highest and most prestigious award. Je m'appelle Hugues Baudouin-Dumouchel et j'ai l'honneur d'être votre maître de cérémonie ce soir pour la présentation de la clé de la ville, la plus haute distinction décernée par la ville. Ceux et celles qui le peuvent sont priés de se lever maintenant pour l'arrivée de son honneur, Mark Sutcliffe, maire de la ville d'Ottawa, et l'invité d'honneur, Gabriela Dabrowski. I invite now those who can to please stand for the arrival of His Worship, Mark Sutcliffe, Mayor of the City of Ottawa, and our guest of honor, Gabriela Dabrowski. Please be seated. Je vous invite à vous asseoir. As we begin this evening's ceremony, it is important to acknowledge that Ottawa is built on unceded Algonquin Anishinaabe territory. The peoples of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation have lived on this territory for millennia. Their culture and presence have nurtured and continue to nurture this land. The City of Ottawa honors the peoples and land of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation. The City of Ottawa honors all First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples, and their valuable past and present contributions to this land. D'emblée, il est important de souligner que la ville d'Ottawa est bâtie sur un territoire non cédé de la nation algonquine Anishinaabe. Les peuples de la nation algonquine Anishinaabe vivent dans ce lieu depuis des millénaires. Leur culture et leur présence l'ont imprégné et l'imprègnent encore. La ville d'Ottawa rend hommage aux peuples et aux territoires de la nation algonquine Anishinaabe. La ville rend hommage à toutes les Premières Nations, les Inuits et les Métis, et leurs précieuses contributions passées et présentes à cette terre. It is now my distinct honor to introduce Elder Claudette Commanda, who will deliver this evening's territorial welcome. Claudette Commanda is an Algonquin Anishinaabe from Kitigan-Zibi Anishinaabeg First Nation. Elder Commanda has dedicated more than 35 years to promoting First Nations people, history, culture, and rights in various capacities as a University of Ottawa student, professor, member, and chair of the Aboriginal Education Council and via public speaking events. Elder Commanda was appointed the 15th Chancellor of the University of Ottawa, becoming the first Indigenous person and 5th woman to serve in that role. Claudette Commanda est une Algonquine Anishinaabe de la Première Nation Kitigan-Zibi-Anishinabeg. Madame Commanda se consacre depuis plus de 35 ans, d'abord comme étudiante de l'université, puis à titre de professeure, de membre et présidente du Conseil de l'éducation autochtone, ainsi que dans le cadre de conférences publiques, à la défense des peuples et des droits des Premières Nations, de même qu'à la promotion de leur histoire et de leur culture. L'aînée Commanda a été nommée 15e chancelière de l'Université d'Ottawa, devenant ainsi la première personne autochtone et la 5e femme à occuper ce rôle dans l'histoire de l'établissement. Elder Commanda.
Good evening, everyone. I don't know if I'm allowed to touch the microphone. Because you know I'm not exactly the tallest person in the house, right? But good evening, everyone. Good evening. Let's greet one another with a good heart by saying good evening to one another. Good evening. We're here for a celebration, and we must show that enthusiasm as well as the celebration for our honored guest, Gabriela Dabrowski. Your Worship, Mayor Mark Sutcliffe, honored guest Gabriela Dabrowski, to the family of Gabriela Dabrowski and her family and friends, city councillors, to our elders who are in the audience, to the community leaders who are in the audience, to the citizens who are in the audience. We greet one another with kindness. Let's raise our hands to one another. Kwe nichki wedug, kwe. Kani michki jgun kinun edishnakas ketaganzi bidonjban. Migwech ni wichki wedug, migwech kibijaya go ma nongum. Bijajiko ma anishnabe eki o mama weneniwag. Bienvenue à tous. Bienvenue ici à la territoire non cédé des nous ancêtres de la nation algonquin. Bienvenue ici. I'm always honored and I'm always proud to represent the ancestors who I come from and to welcome everyone, beautiful people, to this beautiful homeland of the Algonquin nation, the Algonquin people. So with kindness, with love and respect, I welcome each and every one of you. And let's continue showing that kindness to one another as a community, and that's what's so important. And as I greet you with my heart and with kindness, and in the spirit of reconciliation, to welcome you into the homeland of my people, let's also show why we are here today, to celebrate one of Ottawa, the city of Ottawa's celebrities, Gabriela Dabrowski. It is our people's way, our way of knowing, our way of being, our way of doing. As we welcome people into our homeland, we acknowledge one another, but we also need to acknowledge our community members and the work that they are doing for community. We give that blessing by words of thank you. So Miss Gabriela, I thank you for the contributions that you give to the city of Ottawa through sport, through your kind heart, through your success. And she is an inspiration for all of us, from the young to the middle age and to the elders. And we know she will continue being that inspiration. We celebrate her here this evening. We're all here together as a community. We praise her for that good work. And to each and every one of you that we are here in this circle, the blessing that I give to each of you. Nibuksendam, nibuksendam minupamadzwin, nibuksendam nibakawin, nibuksendam zagiedwin. Let's come together as brothers and sisters. Let's come together in that spirit of love and kindness in this beautiful city called Ottawa. And my blessing for each and every one of you, always carry your heart in a good way. Walk in the spirit of wisdom and long life and good health to each and every one of you. And love. Embrace love and show that love to one another is so important, and especially in today's times that we are in. We can all agree that love is what's so important, and our children depend on us to be those leaders of love, the beacon of hope. So Chimigwej Niwichkiwe, Miigwej, thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my heart and my words with you. And I'm so proud to be part of this circle to celebrate Miss Gabriela Dabrowski. Thank you. Miigwej.
Thank you, Elder, for sharing your heart and your words with us. Miigwej. I now have the pleasure to invite His Worship, Mark Sutcliffe, Mayor of the City of Ottawa, to come forward to deliver remarks and make the official presentation of the key to the city to Gabriela Dabrowski, followed by the signing of the official guest registry of the City of Ottawa. J'ai maintenant le plaisir d'inviter son honneur, Mark Sutcliffe, maire de la ville d'Ottawa, à prendre la parole et à remettre officiellement la clé de la ville à Gabriela Dabrowski. On procédera par la suite à la signature du registre officiel de la ville d'Ottawa. Your Worship.
Merci, Hugues. Thank you, Hugues. You always do such a terrific job with these events, so we're grateful to have you as our Master of Ceremony for all these wonderful occasions. And Elder Commander, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. As always, you bring such warmth and kindness to every event that you attend and whenever you speak, and we're so grateful for your leadership in our community. Good evening, everyone. Bonsoir tout le monde. C'est vraiment un plaisir d'être ici avec vous tous ce soir. Je suis ici avec mes collègues du Conseil municipal. I'm here with some of my colleagues from Ottawa City Council, Ralston King, Isabel Skulski, Stephanie Plante, Teresa Kavanaugh, Jessica Bradley, and Laura Dudas. And on behalf of all the members of City Council, it really is an honor to be here tonight. This is a very special evening. This is very exciting. It's a real thrill to be here tonight and to have this opportunity. We are here tonight to celebrate a Grand Slam champion, an Olympic medalist, an ambassador for sport, a champion for youth, a role model, and a terrific person. Tonight we are presenting Ottawa's highest honor, the key to the city, to one of our most accomplished athletes, Gabriela Dabrowski. Congratulations, Gabby. And I want to extend a very warm welcome to Gabby's parents, Wanda and Yurik Dabrowski, who are with us tonight. Great to see you. We're grateful that you're here tonight, and as I told you a few minutes ago, I'm old enough now that I relate more to the parents than to the athlete. So, you know, I know what it's like to be a sports dad. I want to thank you for your devotion, for everything you've done to support your daughter's incredible journey over many, many years. I know a little bit what it's like to be the father of kids in competitive sports, and I often joke about how it's harder, maybe it's not even a joke, about how it's harder to be the parent of an athlete than to be an athlete yourself, because you're watching and you do everything you can to support your child on their journey, and you have no control over what happens on the court or on the field. So it's very, very challenging. And Yurik, I know you even coached your daughter for a time, and you went so far as to, is this true? You made a machine that would shoot tennis balls so that Gabby could practice in the basement. Is that right? Yeah, so that's amazing, and just a sign of what parents do for their kids when they're passionate about something. I want to acknowledge that there are so many people who are here tonight to support Gabby and honor Gabby, including members of our senior leadership team and so many members of the community as well. So thank you all for being here tonight for this special occasion. I've had a chance to chat with Gabby a little bit over the last hour or so, and it's been a real delight to get to know her and to find out not just what a great athlete she is, but what a terrific speaker what a terrific person she is. And she has been, so influential in so many ways, not just as an athlete, but as a role model. And I want to, you'll be hearing from a couple of her friends in a moment who will talk more intimately about their knowledge of Gabby, but we're fortunate to welcome her in the middle of the tennis season, of course. She's fresh off the courts of Wimbledon and will soon be competing in the National Bank Open in Montreal. So we were lucky to find a little window in her tennis schedule in the middle of summer to have her back in her hometown. And let's talk a little bit about Gabby's remarkable journey. Gabby a commencé son parcours dans le tennis ici même à Ottawa. Gabby started playing on the public courts at Russell Boyd Park, courts that now bear her name and that she was practicing on today. And had a chance to go back to where it all started. She grew up a few blocks away in the Blossom Park community, and her childhood friend, who was there when she first picked up a tennis racket at 7 years old, Christian, and his mother, Hanya, are here tonight. Welcome to both of you. Great to see you. And it all happened very fast after that. By the time Gabby was 13 years old, she took part in an exhibition here in Ottawa alongside tennis legends like John McEnroe, Jim Courier, and Anna Kournikova. And Gabby quickly rose through the ranks with the support of so many people, her coaches, her fellow players, and some of her teachers, including her teachers at Sawmill Creek Elementary and Ridgemont High School, and Yolaine Munter, the principal of Westboro Academy, who is here with us tonight. Great to see you, Yolaine. Yolaine has had a huge impact on our community in so many ways, and not just as an educator. And all of them found creative ways to support Gabby's education while she traveled the world to compete and to represent her country. Gabby a représenté le Canada à 3 Jeux olympiques. Gabby has represented Canada at 3 Olympic Games and brought home a bronze medal from Paris. That was a big moment. And as you all know, she is a Grand Slam champion, not just once, but several times at the Australian Open, the French Open, and the US Open, including her historic win at the 2023 US Open Women's Doubles with Erin Routliffe, making her the first Canadian woman to win a women's doubles Grand Slam. She's been a 2-time Wimbledon finalist as well. She is was a world number 3 in doubles, and she was a key part of the Canadian team that captured the Billie Jean King Cup in 2023. And then in 2024, she capped off the season with a win at the WTA Finals in women's doubles. And Gabby is so much more than just a tennis player. She is also a global ambassador for Special Olympics, a champion for youth, someone who has always carried herself with humility, integrity, and heart, whether she is competing on the world stage or giving back off the court. And all of that, everything that I've described so far, all of her story of tennis and everything she's done is incredibly inspiring. But of course, there is another aspect to Gabriela's story that has touched thousands of people. In 2024, Gabby was undergoing treatment for breast cancer, quietly and privately, while continuing to compete at the highest level of the sport. And since then, since she went public with her health challenges. She has become a passionate advocate for breast cancer screening and awareness, using her platform to help others. And I know that has had an extraordinary impact on so many other women. Gabby, you have inspired us all. You have shown us what it means to represent your hometown, to represent your country, and to do so with grace, courage, and determination. And tonight you join a very impressive list, a short list of Ottawa residents who have been awarded the key to the city. Ce soir, vous vous joignez à une liste impressionnante des membres de la communauté locale qui ont reçu la clé de la ville dans le passé. For example, acclaimed actress Sandra Oh, Canadian Football Hall of Famer and three-time Grey Cup champion Henry Burris, the former host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek, and most recently, Team Homan, the Olympians in curling and world champions as well. And the list goes on. It represents some of the most incredible people in our community who have achieved remarkable success in their fields. Tonight, Ottawa is lucky to be adding your name to that list. You have made us proud. You've inspired countless young people in Ottawa and across Canada. Think of how many young girls have picked up a tennis racket because they watched Gabby play and win. So on behalf of all of us, on behalf of your city, your hometown, thank you and congratulations. And it's now my great honor to invite you to join me for the official presentation of the key to the city.
Congratulations, Gabby Dabrowski. Right on cue, I would now like to invite our first speaker to come forward to deliver remarks. It was perfect timing. Alison Rutter holds a doctorate of education and is a retired associate professor at East Stroudsburg University in Pennsylvania. She and her husband, David Mayhew, are like second parents to Gabby. They met Gabby in her teens when she started training at Saddlebrook Tennis in Wesley Chapel, Florida. Over many years, they helped support Gabby by opening their nearby home to her wherever she trained at Saddlebrook, loving and embracing her like a member of their own family. Souhaitons maintenant la bienvenue. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Alison Rutter.
Well, thank you. I'd like to say that I'm here precisely because of my husband, David, who couldn't make it today, because it was he who met Yurick while Gabby was training at Saddlebrook. He loved to go watch the aspiring professionals play, and he and Yurick spoke, and pretty soon Gabby and Yurick were staying with us, and that was 15 years ago. So yes, Gabby has really made us part of her family, and we're very grateful for that. But I also want to say that, Gabby has really worked at trying to keep us involved, and in particular, she invited David to go watch her play at Indian Wells, a big tennis tournament out in California, and he politely said, no thank you, and sent me. Then Gabby invited him to go to the US Open final, which she won, and he said, no, and sent me, so I got to go. Then she almost pleaded with him to go watch her play at the Australian Open, which is huge, it's one of the Grand Slams. And he said no, and guess what? I got to go. So Gabby, when you asked him to speak tonight, you should have known that it would be me. So thank you for including me in your family and everything that's gone on. I'm too bad for David. Okay, so tonight we're all here to really recognize and celebrate Gabby's achievements as a tennis player. And we probably have heard from the media about her relentless determination, her drive for perfection, her God-given talents honed over years and years of hard work, her sometimes love-hate relationship with the game of professional tennis. But we rarely talk about her family and how this all came to be. We've talked a little bit about it, okay. So I want to say that while Gabby is really an only child, more or less, she seems to be blessed with a number of parents and family. So David and I are included in that, but also Margaret and Paul. And she does have a big sister, Angela, who is really, maybe we won't call you an older sister. But it's really all about Yurik and Wanda, who are her real parents, okay? They're the ones who really were obviously there from the start, who nurtured her dream of becoming a top tennis player since she first picked up a tennis racket not too far from here. They gave her the opportunity, time, and their own ingenuity to help build her skills and exercise her talents. I love these stories, and as you just mentioned, Yurik building this ball machine for the basement of their home. I mean, I could just imagine Gabby with a thwack, 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 thwack in the basement, and it seemed to work. And then them dragging this crazy contraption down the street to this park, which, as they mentioned, is now named after her. And I got to see firsthand at Saddlebrook, which is in Florida, the state-of-the-art balancing equipment that Yurik came up with. I mean, this thing was crazy. He also came up with a number of routines and ideas to embellish Gabby's game, and it seems to work. When she was old enough to travel to matches and tournaments around the world, it was Yurik who went with her. Wanda, her mother, was back here in Ottawa, keeping everything running and talking with Gabby on the phone. She seemed to talk with her like every day, comforting her through the struggles and rejoicing with her successes. While it seemed instinctual for Gabby to know how to compete, it was really her family that helped her become the balanced person she is today. She knew they were behind her, and she knew that I hope, that we were all behind her. So we were fortunate to become part of this. We got to not only watch part of the professional part, watching her train, and I got to go to the tournaments, we also got to live her life with her, all that mundane stuff, when they just sat around the house and, Gabby did some homework and sometimes let me help. We listened to Yurik's stories, which if you get a chance, ask him some of the stories about how he got here. It's really incredible. She also managed to teach David to cook many different meals, and this is how I discovered that Gabby is not my daughter, because believe it or not, she doesn't like tomatoes, she doesn't like mushrooms, and who could believe it, she doesn't like cheese. So, that's just nuts. So Gabby is part of our household and part of our family, brought her friends home, and at one point she even brought us a cat. So we really feel that we earned our role as part of her family. Gabby learned that life can be tough and not fair, but good. Due to her parents' influences, she grew from being a teen phenom to a lovely, generous, and thoughtful adult who also happens to be a top-ranked tennis player. She has managed to accomplish much off the court as well as on, and to have the strength to take on anything. We attribute these character values to Yurik and Wanda, who themselves are kind, giving people. We are just as proud as her tennis as we are her tennis accomplishments, as we are as some of the things she has done off the court, and in particular, her work with the Special Olympics. That's really touched her heart, and the work she's done with the WTA Players Council, because those are the things that really speak to who she is as a person. The person we got to see grow through those teen years, and God forbid, COVID. That Gabby cares about tennis is obvious, but she also cares about family, and she cares about the world, and the impact she can and will have. So thank you, Gabby.
Thank Thank you, Ms. Rutter. I now have the pleasure of inviting our next speaker to come forward to say a few words. Andrea Rabzak hails from Toronto and is an award-winning tennis coach who works out of the Ontario Racket Club in Mississauga. She has known Gabby since she was a junior and has successfully mentored and coached her at various tournaments in Gabby's career, including Gabby's 2022 win of the National Bank Open, her 2023 US Open Grand Slam win, and 2024 Olympic bronze medal win. Je vous prie d'accueillir au podium. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Rabzak to the podium.
Hi. Mr. Mayor and Alison and I should have coordinated our speeches a little bit better because you're going to hear a lot of the same things. So when I was asked to speak tonight, I wasn't certain where to begin. I started to look through a bunch of old photos, and then I thought I should just start at the beginning. I met Gabby when she was 10. I was part of a team running this provincial regrouping, and we get together every few months. And the first thing that I recognized was that she was laser focused, constantly locked in, and she had ridiculous timing. And that's stuff you just can't teach to people. It's just there. I was the only female coach at the time in this program, and the guys just said, you know, you should just take the girls. So novel idea, so I did. And lucky for me, Gabby and I bonded quite quickly because we share a few commonalities. We're both only children, and both our dads coached us and did everything they could to provide us with the best opportunities we could to live our dream. So I think it kept us together like that. It's not this long, it's just really big writing. Sorry. We would see each other every few months at training camps and at tournaments. And not long after that, I was one of the provincial coaches for our under-14 outdoor nationals, which was right here in Ottawa at the Ottawa Tennis Club in the summer. And Gabby was still under 12, but she was playing in the 14s, and she made her way through to play for 5-6, 5th, 6th place. And on the final day. And I remember distinctly warming her up on this clay court there that day and thinking, this girl's really good. She's really, really special. She can really play. And even though she lost the match that day, this is when Gabby really made herself impossible to ignore. You skip ahead 6 months and she won her first national singles and doubles titles at the under 14 indoors in Edmonton. And after that, she just kept rising. But through all that, she stayed incredibly humble, occasionally stubbornly shy, and in the early years, we literally had to talk her into smiling and waving when she walked on the court for matches to wave to the crowd. And I know there's many of you here tonight that know that, right? We all remember that, Gabs, right? So I've had this front row seat to her whole career. I've watched her go from this determined, sometimes challenging, young professional who along the way happened to be the first Canadian to win the prestigious Le Petiaz and the Tevlin ITF singles title, which holds a very dear place to both Gabby and I. And Mike and Nikki Tevlin are here tonight, and their tournament was really started Gabby off in singles and doubles. I was there to lift her, as we've heard. I was there to see her lift her first Grand Slam trophy at the US Open. I was able to watch her become the first Canadian to win a WTA title, 1,000 title on home soil, which was so impressive. And I got to stand there right beside her, honestly overwhelmed with pride as she put on an Olympic medal. Wait. The one thing about Gabby, the standard that she sets for herself has a ripple effect. She makes us all want to be better. She has made me a better coach, and she is living proof that growth doesn't just happen. It's something you choose. It's discipline, and it takes sacrifice. I remember the 2009 Canada Summer Games singles final against Jeannie. Gabby had a match point, and she chipped a forehand return back and lost the point. And she looked over at me on the bench, and she said, I'm going to quote it, "I lost my forehand." The search to find her forehand took a decade. And I think everybody here has had some input into her forehand. She struggled to trust her forehand, but she never ran away from the struggle. She kept grinding away at it, and today it's one of her most reliable weapons. Evolving mattered to her, not just as a player, but as a person. Some of you may not know that while most students go into lecture halls. Gabby was logging into classes from hotel rooms and airports, studying for a psychology degree while juggling a full-time tennis career. And it's not for a safety net. It was because learning really deeply matters to her. She always found a way to give back too. She's taken on the role of an ambassador for the Special Olympics, got involved with groups like High Impact Athletes and IM8 Health, all to help make things better for other people. But there was one challenge that none of us saw coming. When Gabby was diagnosed with breast cancer, she did what she always does. She made a plan, she got to work, she fit in her treatment around training and matches, she played the Toronto NBO, she flew back to Florida for radiation, and then right back to the US Open. Most people had no idea what she was carrying. Those of us who knew were honestly in awe and speechless at the strength it took just to keep going. But that's Gabby. I'm not finished, just wait. I asked some of Gabby's closest friends, Mimi, Louisa, who's not here tonight, Nora, Emily, and Pat, to give me a couple of words to describe her. And honestly, they were all saying the same things: kind, generous, thoughtful, fierce competitor, loyal, and a great friend. But by far, the one word that kept coming up again and again was resilient. People throw that word around a lot, especially in sports, right? But if you really want to know what resilience actually looks like, it's Gabby. And that's exactly what it looks like. Behind that toughness, Gabby's the most real, down-to-earth person you will ever meet. After she won her Olympic medal, you know where we were at 4 in the morning? With Nora, Gabby, and I, in the hotel room, having burgers and fries and shakes, and just chilling out, not celebrating, but this was a big deal for the three of us to be together, to be able to celebrate that. She loves cats, she doesn't eat cheese, she finally loves coffee, and she hates bugs. And I once watched her, this is no lie, I once watched her hunt down a bug in a hotel room with more determination than people bring to a match. One of my favorite stories, though, happened in Australia. Gabby had an issue with her tooth, and we had seen a dentist that day who undeniably looked just like Bradley Cooper. And Gabby and I called him Dr. Cooper, Dr. Bradley Cooper, and that was his name the whole time. Anyway, Gabby wasn't getting any relief from her tooth, and we contacted him at 10 o'clock at night, and he just happened to be watching a match at Rod Laver Arena. So he immediately left the arena and met us at his office. But because none of his staff were there, guess who got to hold the drill in her mouth? Me. I held the drill while he adjusted her root canal. And that's how much trust we've built over the years, that she let me hold the drill in her mouth. I don't know if it's professional dental protocol, but it's definitely a player-coach moment I'll never forget. That story still makes me laugh, but it speaks to the bond we've built and the kind of person she is. She lets people in, she shows up for others, and she has always made time for what really matters: her causes and her people. And I count myself extremely lucky to be one of them. So today, as Ottawa awards Gabby with the key to the city, we celebrate everything Gabby has achieved on and off the court. But we also celebrate the examples she sets and the kind of character that reflects the very best of this city: excellence, integrity, and heart. And that's funny that you said that, right? Congratulations, Gabs. You have made me proud. You have made all of us here proud, and you have more than earned this. And I love you to death.
Thank you, Ms. Rabzak. Je vous invite maintenant à regarder à l'écran vidéo derrière moi une présentation spéciale à l'intention de notre invité d'honneur. I would now like to invite you to focus your attention on the video screen right behind me for a special montage for our guest of honor tonight.
Another Grand Slam title, and it comes in women's doubles. Ottawa's Gabriela Dabrowski.
born and raised in the capital. Gabriela Dabrowski has served up a lot of success on the tennis courts.
And they've done it! What a way to bring up the title! Gabriela Dabrowski and Mate Pavic, the mixed doubles champions at Australian Open 2018.
One of Canada's stars of the tennis wave, tennis champ, returned home today for a special honor.
Gabriela Dabrowski also making a trip to the court where the dream began.
So much blood, sweat, and tears have been shed on this court. Pretty remarkable that I'm still here years later. And then around Canada, if you inspire, one kid.
I feel like that's a really good message for anyone picking up a racket, anyone trying to get better at anything really, is that it just step by step, and it's all about getting a little bit better every day.
And come on in, let's celebrate with all of Canada. Gabby Dabrowski.
Plenty of great memories, I think. A big thank you to everyone involved in putting the video montage together. C'est maintenant avec grand plaisir que j'invite notre invité d'honneur à prendre la parole. It is with great pleasure that I now invite our guest of honor to come forward and deliver remarks. Please join me in welcoming our Key to the City recipient, Ms. Gabriela Dabrowski.
Thank you very much. Wow, thank you. And thank you so much for putting together that beautiful video. There are some amazing memories there. So good evening, distinguished guests. It is a strange feeling to have almost every single important person in your life in one room all together at once. Each of you have had an impact on me in one way or another. Some of you helped me become a tennis player. Some of you helped me stay a tennis player. Some of you have adopted me as a part of your families. Some of you helped me file my taxes. Some of you keep me accountable when I'm at my very most difficult. Some of you look out for me without me even knowing. Some of you have encouraged me to keep going. And some of you have kept me alive. And you are all friends forever. Being recognized for your achievements means nothing unless everyone involved in the process can be recognized too. So with the utmost gratitude, thank you all. Thank you for everything, for your wise words, for your shoulders to cry on. Thank you for your support during the most dire of times. Thank you for opening your homes and treating me like a daughter or a sister or an auntie. Thank you for your belief in me and my dreams, even when mine wavered. Thank you for helping me become the version of myself that stands before you today. It is a great honor to receive the key to the city of Ottawa, a city that has granted me the opportunity to grow up in an environment that taught me about inclusivity, giving back, friendship, and what to do in an ice storm. The park down the street from my family home was where my journey into tennis began. And I think this highlights the importance of public sporting facilities that provide accessible and safe playing fields and courts for our young generation. I don't think anyone could have predicted that a little Canadian girl with a Polish background and a strong desire to learn French would ever make it to the Olympics one day, let alone win a medal. So with all that said, thank you to Mr. Mayor Sutcliffe for this honor. Thank you to the City of Ottawa. It is a privilege to share in this celebration with you all. Dziękuję bardzo. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our presentation this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. And on behalf of His Worship, Mark Sutcliffe, you are all invited to a reception in Jean Piggott Place immediately following the departure of the official party, and you're invited to sign the official guest registry at that time. We would like to thank the members of the Cameron Highlanders of Ottawa, Duke of Edinburgh's own, Ottawa Fire, Paramedic, Police, and Bylaw and Regulatory Services who provided members for the Honor Guard and Colour Party this evening. For the family members and friends who could not be present this evening, the presentation was recorded live tonight and will remain online at rogerstv.com for you to view at any time. Alors, s'il y avait des membres de la famille ou des amis qui ne pouvaient être des nôtres ce soir, sachez que la présentation demeurera en ligne sur le site tvrogers.com pour que vous puissiez la visionner en tout temps. Thank you to each of you for helping make this evening a truly memorable one. Merci à chacun et chacune d'entre vous d'avoir contribué à faire de cette soirée une expérience tout à fait mémorable. Je vous invite à vous lever pour l'hymne national et le départ du parti officiel, si vous le pouvez bien sûr. For those who can, please stand for the national anthem and remain standing for the official party recession. Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames, messieurs, have a great evening. Bonne soirée.
Call party. Halt. Into line. Left. Turn. Prepare to retrieve. Retrieve. Carry. Colors. Into line. Right.